Hello, this is Tor, and I connect the political dots. Yesterday was a pretty big day in the Republican primaries. Apparently, Donald Trump has decided he's no longer going to debate before primaries, which made John Kasich say, me neither, and left Ted Cruz wanting to debate somebody with nobody else at a podium. So, no more debates in the Republican race. That's the story that everybody talked about. The biggest story of yesterday, actually, to me, was Nikki Haley endorsing Ted Cruz. I know she endorsed Marco Rubio in South Carolina, but she's now come out to endorse Ted Cruz. She's establishment. She's big-time establishment, pushed by the establishment for big things in the future. So for her to come out and support Ted Cruz is actually huge. Now, what makes it easier for her is the fact she's a governor. She's not sitting in Congress, not in the halls of Congress with all of the other lemmings in the Republican Party. So that makes it better for her, because she's accountable to the people of South Carolina, not those buttheads in Washington. But I want to talk about something different today. I want to talk about the soul of the Republican Party. What is it? What do they stand for today? What is it that they are looking to do for the country besides get rid of Barack Obama? What is the soul of the Republican Party? Let's go one by one. John Kasich. What is his soul? What does he plan to do? Make things work. He's going to do this. He's going to get together. What does that mean? What is that? What does he mean? He is 100% establishment. 100%. Those that are voting for Trump and Cruz in far greater numbers than the other 13 candidates that were in are telling the Republican Party, we don't want John Kasich. We don't want anyone like John Kasich. But the GOP is not listening. They're not listening because if they get somebody other than John Kasich, they lose their power. They lose their ability to manipulate who's in office. They cannot control the agenda anymore. That is their goal. That is what they want. John Kasich would enable them that. He is soulless. It's not about the country to John Kasich. It is about those in Washington that are pushing the buttons and pulling the strings. John Kasich is by far the worst candidate you could possibly vote for. Plus, he's mathematically impossible. He can't get there. He can't get the numbers to be the nominee. Therefore, a vote for him is a vote for, might as well vote for John McCain. It'll have the same exact effect in the grand scheme of things, because neither one of them can be president this year. Then you have Donald Trump. What is his soul? Does he have one? Does he have a soul? What does he represent? What is he going to do for the country? I know he says he's going to make America great again, but what does that really, really mean? I know I've heard him say he's going to make all the deals with the hospitals to make healthcare better. He's going to make all the trade deals to make trade better. He's going to do fantastic things for the economy. What does that mean? What is he going to do? What is his soul? What is his guiding principle that's going to cause all those things to happen? Anybody know? I don't know. And you know what? You don't know either. You can say, oh, he loves this country. But this country has rules. This country has a constitution. This country has a Congress. Are you going to follow those rules? I know we said he's going to make the military do whatever he wants. They're going to do what he tells them to do, regardless of what the laws are. So what are his guiding principles? He's a pragmatist. By any means necessary. The ends justify those means. Donald Trump has no soul. Then we have Ted Cruz. If Ted Cruz had Ronald Reagan's charm, he'd be winning this election hands down. But he doesn't. You have to actually think to understand Ted Cruz. This is the issue. This is the problem. I think that people are so emotionally charged right now that they don't want to think. They want to go with the guy that's yelling the loudest and saying the things that frustrate them and doing that. So they're not listening to Ted Cruz. But let me tell you about Ted Cruz. Regardless of what you may think about the way he speaks and the words he uses, and I've debated people saying that he sounds like a preacher, he's preaching the gospel. He's preaching the gospel of the Constitution. 2 books two writings Ted Cruz follows devoutly: the Bible and the Constitution. Ted Cruz's soul is the founder's soul. His principles are based on what the founders' principles were. And he will fight to maintain that. He will bring us back to the standard of the United States of America. I know a lot of people say, well, Donald Trump's saying the things against the people that were saying things against us for the last 7 years. So I'm with him because he wants to fight it. Ted Cruz will fight it too. But he won't fight it the way Donald Trump will. You see, when two extremes collide, terrible things happen. When you bring it back to the standard, the Constitution, what this country was founded on, it's a much more peaceful transition. That's why the Constitution is written. It's the people's document. We the people. Ted Cruz has the soul of not only the founders, but the founders of the Republican Party. Lincoln, Ike, Reagan. These men did very profound things within the Republican Party. Reagan wasn't wanted by the GOP as well. Lincoln was the first. He's the founder of it. Then you had Ike. Ike is the one that really started the civil rights movement. Ike is the one that took over the National Guard in Arkansas so that Ruby Bridges could go to school. Ike sued South Carolina for these. These are principled measures that require a soul to carry out. What's John Kasich going to do besides make deals? What's Donald Trump going to do besides make deals? The Republican Party needs its soul back. And I don't care if the GOP doesn't want it. Ted Cruz will force them to take the oath that they took when they put their hand on the Bible seriously. He will do what every one of them campaigned on to get into office. That's what they don't want. The GOP does not want the accountability that Ted Cruz will make them be accountable for. He will make them live up to the promises that they made to their constituents when they ran for Congress. There's only one choice in here. The fact that the GOP is actually floundering on what they're going to do is ridiculous. The only choice is Ted Cruz. Forget the GOP. The man to vote for is Ted Cruz.